the chosen one. Lean in Heaven has its hand on your shoulder right now. Your delay was not a detour. It was design. The pause you've lived through wasn't punishment. It was protection, preparation, and precise alignment. The very hours that felt like stillness were a forge, and what looked like silence was the soundproof room where God refined your voice. Hear this with holy clarity. Acceleration begins this Thursday. The current shifts, the wind changes, and what resisted you will begin to assist you. The lane you thought was closing is about to open like a parted sea. You have felt it, an ache without words, a pressure in your spirit, a hush that made you wonder if you were forgotten. You were not forgotten. You were being fitted. Your steps have been slow because your calling is weighty. Your route has been narrow because your destiny cannot be carried on crowded roads. The divine delay was God's way of insulating you from counterfeit doors and premature platforms. He hid you to keep you holy, and He held you to keep you whole. There is a reason you did not quit when quitting seemed reasonable. There is a reason the fire did not consume you, and the flood did not drown you. The Father has been guarding your momentum until the moment matched your mantle. That moment has arrived. Expect the small to become significant, the overlooked to become undeniable, and the not yet to become now. Expect calls that change calendars, messages that rewrite timelines, favor that answers questions before you ask them. You are stepping from survival into surge. The enemy studied your pace and misread your patience as paralysis. Heaven smiled. What looked like standing still was you planting deep roots. What looked like delay was heaven stacking timing, resources, people, and places into one converging point. That convergence approaches swiftly. On Thursday, begin to move with intentional expectancy. Check what you set aside. Revisit what you shelved. Speak to what you buried. Life will answer. Doors will respond. You are rare by design, not accident. Your fingerprints are a prophecy that no one else can fulfill. The oil on your life is not for display. It is for assignment. You will not apologize for being selected by God's timing. You will not shrink to fit places you've outgrown. You will walk with quiet boldness, carrying the certainty that the author who wrote your beginning has already settled your ending. Breathe. Let the weight of fear exhale, and the weight of glory inhale. The pause is over. The page turns. The sound you hear in your spirit is the cadence of acceleration. Now, let the source of this word step forward and feel the nearness of the one who timed your arrival here. Be still for a heartbeat and notice the presence that has already filled the room where you are. The nearness you sense is not imagination. It is the Holy One who authored your waiting, the Father who numbered your steps, the Spirit who hovered over your delays like a craftsman over a masterpiece. He has not merely visited, He has presided. He has signed His name across the margins of your timeline and sealed it with peace. The voice that speaks now does not arise from human persuasion. It flows from the throne where mercy and justice agree on your behalf. He says, I kept you in the shadow because I delight in unveiling, not in performing. I hid you inside my timing so that when you emerged, the fragrance would be mine. The delay you questioned became the womb that carried your next. The hours that felt empty were actually saturated with detail threads of alignment, strands of preparation, intersections you could not see. His hands were on the clock, not to restrain you, but to reserve you. Hear how he draws near, not with frenzy, but with the weight of calm authority. The same Spirit who hovered over formless waters now hovers over your unfolding. He knows the contours of your calling, the exact density of pressure you can carry without cracking the precise moment when favor will not crush you but crown you. Heaven's counsel discussed your name. The Son interceded yes for you, so your faith would not fail. The Father smiled not because you moved fast, but because you remained surrendered. This is why the room feels like sanctuary when you listen. You are standing beneath a word that existed before you felt ready. The source of this message is the one who cannot lie, whose decrees outlive the ages, whose timelines bow to his will. He is not rushing, he is revealing. He whispers, I have timed your acceleration to my goodness. I will not thrust you into what I have not formed you to sustain. I will not let applause determine your pace or criticism diminish your courage. Am your rhythm. In your delay, he harvested impurities, fear of man, addiction to speed, dependency on outcomes. In your delay, he deepened your roots, purity of motive integrity, in secret resilience that prays when no one is clapping. These are not abstract virtues. They are architecture load-bearing beams beneath the platform you are about to stand on. He crafted you for weather, not just for weathered stories. He tuned your ear to the smallness of his whisper, so you would not be seduced by the loudness of lesser voices. Consider how he introduced himself throughout your waiting as provider when provision seemed thin, as shepherd when paths were unclear, as potter when the shaping pinched, as father when loneliness tried to label you orphan. Each name was a lesson. Each name was a promise. Each promise is now a pathway. So receive this as covenant, not suggestion. The same God who governed your delay will govern your acceleration. The same hand that slowed what would have spoiled will speed what is now ripe. You will not be driven by panic. You will be drawn by presence. You will not scramble for open doors. You will answer them. Rest under his voice. Let his authority settle the debate inside you. The source is faithful. The sender is near. And because he is the author, he alone reserves the right to turn the page. Lean forward. Beloved, what was whispered in the secret now stands in the light. The decree is simple, precise, and pregnant with power. Acceleration begins this Thursday. Not a rush of chaos, but a river with banks. Not a stampede, but a swift procession. The hour that once felt welded shut will click like a lock, receiving its rightful key. Watch for the first turn of the hinge. See it in the spirit. A corridor of doors, some scarred from how many times you knocked others you never noticed because disappointment lowered your gaze. The finger of God traces your name above one particular door. It glows, not with neon hype, but with covenant light. When you step, the hinges won't squeal. They'll sing. The threshold will not demand your credentials. It will recognize your obedience. The landscape will not change to flatter you. It will change to fit you. Old roads cracking like dry riverbeds, new paths braiding themselves through wilderness as if guided by an invisible cartographer. Expect intersections of timing that feel like holy déjà vu, a message you wrote months ago suddenly relevant, a seed you planted in tears pushing through concrete, a meeting rescheduled 3 times landing on the one day it matters most. Thursday, there will be a sound to this acceleration, a cadence that feels like your heart finding its original tempo. It will not shout over you. It will harmonize with you. Listen for rhythms in ordinary places, the ping of an email that reads like an answer, the ring of a call that redraws your calendar, the quiet nod of a gatekeeper who once said no. These are not random events. They are instruments in an unseen orchestra. For some, the sign will be a swift reversal paperwork, lost now, found approvals, withheld, now released. For others, it will be subtle, a sudden ease where friction lived, a right person appearing at the right hour, a phrase dropped in conversation that unlocks a solution you've chased for months. The prophecy does not promise spectacle. It promises speed with stability, promise with scaffolding growth, with girders. Picture a sailboat anchored in a glassy bay. You tested its ropes, patched its canvas, studied the stars. Then, without thunder, a wind rises steady, sincere, sure. The sail bellies with purpose. The keel hums, the bow lifts into glide. That wind is the breath of God upon what you prepared in the dark. You won't need to force the water. You'll need to manage the pull. Your name is being threaded through conversations. You are not in rooms. You have not entered agendas you did not write. You will be summoned without striving. Yet hear the holy nuance. Not every open door is your door. Acceleration will multiply options. The mystery is not, will doors open? But which door bears your assignment? You will know by the peace that doesn't negotiate and the burden that feels strangely light. The terrain ahead includes suddenlies that were secretly scheduled. A backlog of answered prayers will begin to release in a cadence you can carry. Provision will match vision, not inflate ego. Relationships will realign, some returning, redeemed, others stepping aside without drama. Like leaves releasing from a branch at the gentle insistence of autumn, what must go will go. Bless it and do not chase it. Your voice will find its true register. Words that once felt heavy in your mouth will flow with clean authority. You'll speak less, and it will do more. You'll ask smaller and receive larger. Invitations will test your motives. Influence will test your humility. Influence without intimacy corrodes. Intimacy without influence buries. Heaven is offering you both intimacy to anchor, influence to aim. Do not measure the prophecy by fireworks. Measure it by fruit. The first fruits of Thursday will taste like clarity. Fog lifting from a field at dawn. The outline of your next steps emerging as if traced by light. You won't see miles ahead, but you will see enough to move. In that moving, more path appears, as if the trail itself awakens beneath your feet. Understand the weight of your yes. The same tide that carries you will expose what cannot ride with you. Fear disguised as prudence, cynicism, framed as wisdom loyalty to an old version of yourself. Let the tide decide. Let the wind edit. Let acceleration reveal the structure God built in you during delay. You are not being flung. You are being forwarded, stamped by the King's seal. And when Thursday touches your timeline, do not sprint to prove the prophecy. Stand, listen, and step. The river will bear witness. The door will acknowledge your arrival. The wind will remember your name. What begins then is not a weekend flare. It is a season shift. Speed with stamina. Favor with formation. Opportunity with order. This is the unveiling. The hour is aligned. The path is lit. And the future is no longer waiting. It is arriving. Acceleration is not God changing his mind. It is God revealing his rhythm. The delay taught you cadence, how to breathe with heaven instead of panting after outcomes. What begins now is the same song played at a higher tempo. Think of it as a conductor lifting the baton. Nothing new is added that wasn't already written. It is simply time for your section to rise. Divine timing is not a calendar on the wall. It is a covenant in motion. When God says appointed, he is not predicting. He is establishing. Delay became the classroom where you learned the alphabet of obedience so that acceleration could become the sentence that speaks destiny. In waiting, you learn syllables. In moving, you will speak fluently. Consider doors as living metaphors. A closed door teaches discernment. An open door tests it. Delay sanctified your appetite so you would desire assignment more than attention. Now, in acceleration, your appetite will choose which doors you honor. The door you honor will honor you back, because honor recognizes alignment. The sail and wind are not equal partners. The wind is sovereign, the sail responsive. In the waiting, you stitch the sail. Threads of prayer cords, of integrity, panels of surrender. Acceleration is the wind you did not manufacture and cannot control, meeting a sail you prepared. The meaning runs deeper than momentum. It is partnership without presumption. Light is the signature metaphor of this hour. During delay, you learn to walk by night. Vision faith that sees without seeing. Acceleration brings dawn. Not so you may stop trusting, but so you may steward what you trust for. Dawn does not create the landscape. It reveals what was always there. That revelation is responsibility. Storms taught you the difference between noise and voice. Lightning flashes, waves roar, but the shepherd still speaks softness through wind. Delay tuned your ear to the whisper. Acceleration will tempt you with clamor. Remember, volume is not authority. The king's counsel often arrives in a tone quiet enough to require your full attention. Seasons explain the soul. Winter hid your roots. Spring tested your tenderness. Summer matured your fruit. Autumn harvested your offering. Acceleration is not an endless summer. It is a wise rotation sped by favor. To multiply fruit without deep roots is to break the branch with blessing. Heaven speeds you without snapping you. There is a holy geometry at work, pressure on the outside, presence on the inside. Delay increased your internal world so your external world could expand without collapse. Now, as opportunities widen, your interior cathedral will hold. Depth precedes breadth in the kingdom. Breadth without depth is scaffolding. Depth with breadth is sanctuary. Journeys mark you more than destinations. In delay, you learn to love the road even when the scenery repeated. In acceleration, the scenery will change quickly. Love the road still. The meaning of the journey is not miles covered, but the one who walked it with you. Presence is the prize. Progress is the evidence. Numbers will try to crown you, views, sales seats, signatures. Let them testify, not enthrone. Delay detoxed you from metrics as meaning. Acceleration will reintroduce numbers as tools, not masters. Count fruit, but never let fruit count you. Your name is written where numbers cannot climb. Doors, wines, lights, storms, seasons, journeys, these are not poetic flourishes. They are sacraments of movement. Each metaphor is a map folded into your spirit during delay and unfolded in acceleration. When confusion nips at your heels, pull a map. Ask, is this wind divine or manufactured? Is this light revealing or distracting? Is this door assignment or applause? Divine timing also redeems space. Places you called barren were actually banks waiting for the river. The river is purpose. The banks are boundaries. Acceleration respects banks. It moves with shape. The miracle is not just that you go faster, but that you go truer, curved by conviction. So momentum does not fling you into foolishness. Authority will shift in your language. In delay, you begged like a servant. Now you will ask like a son, a daughter. Not entitlement, but inheritance. The difference is posture. Servants measure worth by tasks completed. Sons and daughters measure identity by the Father's gaze. Acceleration restores that gaze to your daily awareness. Purity is not fragility. It is power under clarity. Delay purged you of diluted motives. Acceleration will present platforms that glitter like gold leaf, thin, shiny, and easily torn. Choose the weight of authenticity over the sheen of visibility. What you refuse for God will protect what you accept from God. Honor your scars. They are not stains, they are seals. The Valley crafted a theology that success cannot counterfeit. In acceleration, people will ask for your method. Give them your altar. Tell them the secret is not a trick, but a table, not a hack, but a history with God. History is credibility in the kingdom. You are entering the era of right-sized yokes. The yoke is easy, not because the work is small, but because the fit is exact. Delay measured your shoulders. Acceleration delivers the yoke that will not bruise you. When the fit is right, effort becomes worship, output becomes overflow, and even fatigue feels like fragrance. Community will become covenant again. In delay, loneliness exposed what flattery once hid. In acceleration, fellowship will be less about who claps and more about who kneels. Surround yourself with those who love presence more than platform, who ask better questions than they give quick praise, who remind you of the voice when the crowd grows loud. Finally understand judgment rightly, not condemnation, but calibration. In delay, God judged your alignments, realigning them by mercy. In acceleration, He will judge your pace, matching it to grace. When He says slow here, it is still acceleration, because obedience is always forward motion in His economy. This is the depth beneath the prophecy, not hype, but holiness, not hurry, but harmony. Your delay wrote the sheet music of surrender. Your acceleration will perform it for the glory of the composer. Keep your eyes on His hands, your ear tuned to His cue, your heart anchored in His tempo. Then the speed will sanctify and the story will sing. When the heart learns the new tempo, the world begins to echo it. Pay attention. Creation loves to speak back to alignment. First, the sign of effortless ease. Places that once felt gritty will suddenly glide. Forms that used to error out will submit on the first try. Lines move quickly. Small logistics line up without your managing them. You'll recognize it by the absence of strain, not laziness, but grace. The same task will require less convincing and carry more completion. It will feel like a latch you've wrestled finally gives with a gentle click. That click is not coincidence. It is covenant announcing proceed. Second, the sign of converging messages. Items you forgot reappear. A journal falls open to a sentence you needed. An unread email from months ago surfaces. A voicemail you missed suddenly plays at the right hour. Separate threads start speaking the same word from a verse, a lyric, a passing comment, even a billboard on your commute. You will hear a repeated phrase, now open cross over go, and it will follow you kindly until you answer. Third, the sign of right time numbers and appointments. Watch the clock as your peace returns right at 4:44 or 7:07. Notice how the calendar falls so that the meeting lands on Thursday without your forcing it. The numerals are not magic. They are mile markers. They will arrive with inner steadiness, not superstition, a wink from heaven that you are standing where timing and purpose touch. Fourth, the sign of keys and doors. You may literally find a key you thought you lost, or someone will hand you a fob, a code, a pass or language that functions like one. Locked pages unlock subscriptions. Grant access files you needed open without resistance. Even in your dreams, you may see a door swing wide or a gate lift. If a door asks you to strive for worthiness, it is not yours. If a door recognizes the oil on your life walkthrough. Fifth, the sign of wind and water. A breeze at an unlikely moment will meet you as you pray, or a sudden stillness will settle like clear water in your chest. Showers may arrive just as you speak blessing, or you may step outside and smell rain on dry ground with no forecast. In the spirit, that is movement announcing itself. The sail you stitched is ready. Set it. Sixth, the sign of reconciled roads. A person who once could not understand you will unexpectedly show honor, or the tension in a relationship eases like a knot loosening under patient fingers. This is not about everyone returning. It's about the snag untying so you can travel lighter. You will bless what cannot continue and feel no bitterness as it gently exits. Seventh, the sign of holy interruption. A delay that would normally irritate you will divert your path into exact provision. A missed bus, a rescheduled call, a line that reroutes you to the very person you needed. You'll feel the nudge to pause, then watch the pause become placement. Heaven is excellent at choreography. Eighth the sign in your language. Your prayers will shorten and sharpen. Words that once felt heavy will flow like a clean stream. You'll say less and accomplish more. Ideas you carried as fog will condense into sentences you can name and steps you can take. Revelation will not shout, it will clarify. Finally, the signature sign, deep, unbothered peace. Not the absence of activity, but the presence of assurance. Anxiety will try its old doors and find them locked from the inside. Peace will sit with you while emails ping and invitations arrive, and you will choose from rest rather than reach from fear. When these signs begin to appear, do not rush to manufacture more. Nod back to heaven with gratitude. The river is proving its banks. With signs comes stretching. Every birth has its contractions, and acceleration is no exception. Do not be alarmed when resistance rises like a last wave before shore. The first challenge will be familiar pressure wearing a new outfit. Old fears will try on fresh language prudence dressed as paralysis, caution masquerading as covenant. They will whisper, "Not yet," when heaven has already said now. Recognize the voice by its fruit. If it shrinks your faith, it is not your shepherd. There will be the challenge of multiplied options. Acceleration doesn't only open the right door, it often opens many. Choice fatigue can imitate confusion. Good invitations will crowd the table, each promising impact, each asking for a slice of your yes. Remember, assignment is the knife. If an option requires you to betray your peace or dilute your consecration, it is not your portion, even if it flatters your profile. Expect the test of pace. In delay, you battled stagnation. In acceleration, you will battle speed without soul. The calendar will swell. The inbox will multiply. And the temptation will be to trade intimacy for efficiency. You will be applauded for running even when heaven is asking you to walk with him. Unlearn hurry. The river is fast enough. Your worship is to keep cadence with the current, not to outswim it. Relationships will be refined. Some voices will prefer the version of you that needed them more. Others will misread your focus as distance. Bless them without bending. The pruning will be gentle, but decisive, like a gardener who loves a tree enough to cut what steals its fruit. Do not argue with the scissors of God. The love that remains after clarity is covenant. There will be warfare at the gate of language. As your authority rises, so will the opportunity to speak carelessly. Words become levers in this season. Criticism will invite you to clap back. Flattery will tempt you to prophesy beyond permission. Guard your mouth like a sanctuary. Let your sentences be altars, not amplifiers of ego. Distraction will arrive dressed as duty. Endless minor urgencies will nip at your heels, stealing the hour meant for your one necessary thing. You will need the courage to disappoint lesser expectations. Holiness in acceleration is often the bravery to say not mine to assignments that are true and good, but not yours. Another challenge, the mirror of success. Results will try to rename you. Numbers will offer to become your compass. Accolades will invite you to camp where you were meant to pass through. Receive fruit with gratitude, then lay it back on the altar. Your identity must remain anchored in presence, or promotion will become a storm instead of a sail. Internal weather may shift suddenly. Old loneliness can knock. Old cravings can call. Old narratives can reappear like pop-up windows. Do not panic. These are residue, not identity shadows reacting to light. Bring them into prayer's daylight and watch their shape dissolve. Battle with rest, not with self-rejection. Finally, expect the test of hiddenness again. Paradoxically, acceleration contains pockets of quiet where God tucks you away mid-momentum. Do not misinterpret the valley between victories as failure. It is the shepherd guiding you behind a rock while he resets the map. Trust the strategic hush. Take heart. None of these are punishments. They are proof you carry something worth resisting. Steel is tempered by heat perfume, proven by pressure ships, certified by storms. You are not fragile cargo. You are covenant freight. Let resistance reveal muscles delay built in you. Let testing testify of your training. You are ready. Listen now for the strategy of the hour. The simple steps that keep you swift and steady. Begin here. Consecrate your calendar. Before the week writes itself, lay your hours before God and ask what is yours. Block sacred space, each morning and evening small but immovable altars. 10 unbroken minutes with Him will protect 10 unbroken hours from chaos. Guard them like gates. Where the altar is honored, acceleration remains holy. Next, clarify the assignment. Write one sentence that names your current mandate. Not 10 goals. Not a thesis, one clear line. If it cannot fit in one breath, it cannot fit in one day. Tape it where your eyes land first. Every request, meeting, and message must answer that sentence or excuse itself. This is not rudeness. It is reverence for stewardship. Choose your 3. Each morning, list the 3 actions that most align with the mandate. Do those first, before inbox, before noise. These are your first fruits of focus. If the day derails after those, you have still obeyed the assignment. 3 faithful seeds outgrow 30 scattered ones. Establish the hour of review. Each evening, ask 4 questions with God. What did you breathe on? What resisted? What must be pruned? What must be prepared for tomorrow? Let His answers recalibrate you. Small daily adjustments keep you from large monthly apologies. Practice the fast of hurry. Walk slower on purpose for 5 minutes a day. Eat 1 meal without screens. Drive 1 route without music. Let silence reintroduce you to the shepherd's pace. Acceleration without awareness becomes erosion. Awareness restores dignity to movement. Sanctify speech. Decide that your words will build altars, not towers. Before responding, ask, is this true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If any answer hesitates, pause. In this season, your tongue signs contracts in the spirit. Do not mortgage your peace with careless replies. Replace striving with asking. When you hit resistance, pray a three-part prayer. Father, grant me wisdom, favor, and timing. Then move only at the speed of peace. Wisdom reveals the how favor, opens the who timing secures the when. All three together prevent premature push or faithless delay. Curate your circle. List the 5 voices you hear most. Next to each name, write what rises in you after you speak with them. Faith or fear, clarity or confusion, worship or performance. Keep the voices that provoke obedience. Bless and create distance from the ones that pull you into noise. Loyalty to misalignment is not love. It is sabotage. Honor the body that carries the call. Sleep when it is time. Hydrate like it is prayer. Move your limbs as a liturgy. Exhaustion masquerades as humility in accelerated seasons, but it is often disobedience in costume. Treat rest as warfare. It shuts doors. Panic tries to pry open. Design holy boundaries. Write 2 scripts now. For later use, a kind no and a clear not now. Keep them ready for the moment. Flattery arrives with an agenda. Boundaries written in peace protect you when pressure demands instant answers. Revisit the shelf. Bring out one project you set aside in the delay. Ask, breathe, or bury. If he breathes, schedule one courageous step this week. If he says bury, release it without ceremony. Obedience is lighter than nostalgia. Keep short accounts. If a grievance arises, forgive before sundown. If you miss the mark, repent before bedtime. Offense and shame are ankle weights. Acceleration exposes them and magnifies their drag. Travel light. Implement the tithe of increase. As favor grows, predetermine generosity, time, skill, and treasure. Give before greed can bargain. Make a covenant percentage for the poor, for the house that feeds your spirit, for the mission beyond your name. Open hands move faster than clenched fists. Practice secret obedience daily. Do one act of hidden faithfulness that no one will ever know. An unseen gift, a prayer, for someone who cannot repay a kindness without a camera. Secret oil keeps public lamps burning. Create a miracle log. Record each mercy, small and large. Date it. Note the texture of the moment. In warfare, read it aloud. Memory is a weapon. Testimony is traction. What God did becomes the runway for what God will do. Install. Selah stops. Set 2 alarms each day, labeled Selah. When they ring, breathe, bless the Lord, and ask, am I still in step? 30 seconds of resynchronizing can save 3 hours of rework. Pray for gatekeepers by name. Make a list of the people whose decisions affect your path. Editors, managers, principals, officials, clients. Bless them daily. Ask that they be moved by truth, not fear, by justice, not politics, by courage, not convenience. Honor unlocks honorable gates. Anoint your thresholds. Stand at the doors you use most home office studio and speak peace over them. Declare that only what serves your assignment may cross. Your space becomes a filter. What is not sent must stay out. Embrace divine detours. When interruptions come, ask at once, is this a distraction or a direction? If direction, pivot quickly and graciously. If distraction, smile and return to the path. Both answers are worship when they are swift. Use the question that keeps you clean. Who gets the glory if this succeeds? If the answer is me, pause until your heart can say, You, Lord. God does not mind your name being known. He minds his name being forgotten. Schedule joy. Plan delight on purpose. A walk, a song, a meal with laughter. Joy is not dessert. It is oxygen. Strength grows where joy is practiced. Intercede for those entrusted to you. Cover family, team, customers, audience. Speak psalm-like prayers, protection from harm, deliverance from lies, wisdom for choices, wholeness in body and mind. Authority matures when it refuses to be self-centered. Keep your hands on the plow and your eyes on the presence. When opportunities stack, choose one, then finish it. Completion is a spiritual discipline. Half-built altars clutter the land. Finished ones call fire. Finally, bless your Thursday aloud. Speak to it each day. This week, I welcome your timing. I receive your opening. I walk in your peace. Words are rails, and the train of fulfillment runs on them. Lay the tracks with faith, then listen for the whistle. Now, let assurance wrap these instructions so you move swiftly without fear, surrounded rather than exposed. Let the sense of being held rise around you like warm light at dawn. You are not stepping into acceleration unguarded. You are advancing beneath a covering. The same presence that shaped your waiting now surrounds your going. Picture a circle of quiet strength, an unseen rampart standing between you and every reckless wind. Your name is written on its gates. Angels are not abstractions in this hour. They are assignment bearers. Some go before to clear debris from the road. Some stand at your flanks as sentries at night. Others trail behind to seal what God establishes so nothing leaches away in the afterglow. You won't always feel them, but you'll notice the evidence hazards you don't hit details that simply hold. Peace will be your most practical armor. Not the fragile kind that breaks with headlines, but the deep steadiness that outlasts noise. Let peace sit in your chest like a steady river. When decisions loom, move only at its current. If peace pulls the reins, honor the pause. If peace loosens them, step. In this season, safety is speed at the pace of peace. Your space is consecrated ground. As you blessed thresholds and named boundaries, a hedge rose, soft to the invited, firm to the intruder. Expect an effortless no to what doesn't belong. Messages will miss you that used to find you. Invitations will expire before they ever arrive. This is not missed opportunity. It is filtered atmosphere. Words will shelter you. Promises rehearsed become weatherproofing for the mind. Keep a small arsenal ready, sentences that anchor. Whisper them in hallways. Breathe them on commutes. Lay them like blankets over restless nights. I am not late. I am aligned. I am not exposed. I am enfolded. I am not striving, I am sent. Truth repeated becomes a roof. Community is part of your covering. The circle you curated now functions like interlocking shields. When you grow tired, their faith will lean in. When they're pressed, yours will rise. Share the load lightly, but honestly, one prayer request, one pressure point, one praise. Secrecy starves protection. Shared light strengthens it. Provision will protect purpose. As generosity flows, scarcity loses leverage. Needs will be met in ways that defy math, but honor stewardship. Expect timely supply enough and in order. Bills settled before breath shortens. Tools in hand before deadlines glare. The Father delights to fund what He fathers. He safeguards what He sends. Expect covering in your calendar as well. Cancellations will occur that prevent collisions. Delays will surface that rescue focus. Do not resent these rearrangements. They are traffic angels' red lights with mercy in their glow. Bless the detour that kept you whole and keep moving. Your reputation rests under His hand. You need not defend yourself against whispers. Time is the friend of the truthful. Let character speak softly and consistently until rumors run out of breath. Heaven keeps receipts, you keep rhythm. The quiet witness of integrity is ironclad protection. And remember, night belongs to Him too. When the day dims and the soul wonders, He watches the rooms you cannot. He keeps the ceilings from falling and the embers from dying, the wolves from circling near. Sleep is worship in accelerated seasons, because sleep says the world is on your shoulders, not mine. So breathe easy within the fortress of His nearness. The road is swift, but the ramparts are higher still. You are not a target wandering open fields. You are a traveler escorted by glory. Walk through your Thursday like one under a bright canopy, seen sealed and safely kept. Feel the turn within you, the quiet click of a key long prepared, meeting the lock it was fashioned for. Transformation will not arrive as an unfamiliar costume. It will appear as you truer. Your face will feel lighter because the old names have peeled away. Your posture will carry peace like a crown. People who knew you before will search your eyes and say without knowing why, something has settled. It has. You have. Fruit will answer where you formerly argued. Where you once explained, vision to dull ears results will now speak in a language everyone understands. A door will open. A solution will land a project, will complete, and the room will fall quiet in that holy hush reserved for obvious grace. You will not need to shout. Fulfillment will testify. The work of delay will bloom, and even skeptics will bless what they cannot deny. Your internal world will expand to hold the increase. Not a manic grasping, but a merciful capacity. Decisions that once knotted your stomach will untangle at a glance. You will notice how quickly you forgive, how swiftly you pivot, how naturally you bless. The river inside has deepened. You will lay your head on the pillow earlier, not later, because rest is no longer a negotiation, it is a rhythm. Relationships will find their rightful edges. Some will draw closer braided by purpose. Others will settle into kind distance, honored without obligation. You will feel no bitterness, only alignment. Conversations will grow cleaner. Boundaries will speak for you before your mouth opens. In this clarity, Laughter will return, not as a rare guest, but as a resident, filling rooms with the sound of a heart unburdened. Provision will match vision with almost playful precision. Unexpected credits. Timely approvals tools arriving on the very day they are needed. You will marvel at how little striving stands between thought and manifestation when God breathes. Budgets will balance, not by cutting destiny, but by trimming distraction. Stewardship will feel like worship, and generosity will feel like strength. You will give in ways that make your younger self weep with gratitude. Your voice will carry a new authority, not heavy but undeniable. When you pray, you will sense traction. When you bless, peace will linger. When you teach, revelation will land and live. Rooms will grow attentive not to your volume, but to your substance. You will be surprised at how little performance is required when presence is trusted. Doors will open because your sound matches your history with God. Creativity will quicken. Songs will finish themselves. Drafts will find their endings. Blueprints will snap into dimension. Ideas you once chased will now chase you. Tapping your shoulder during walks and showers, insisting kindly, "Write me." You will keep a pen within reach because inspiration respects those who are ready. Completion will become your new normal. Half-built altars will be replaced by fire-kissed ones. The past will lose its leverage. Memories that used to press like bruises will become healed testimonies. You will tell the story without flinching, and those listening will feel shackles loosen. The valley will be renamed in your mouth. What once sounded like loss will read like curriculum. Gratitude will rise, without effort, clean, constant, like a spring in well-dug ground. Your Thursday will play back in your mind as a hinge day, but you will not idolize the day. You will adore the one who met you in it. That affection will keep the acceleration safe. Fulfillment will not inflate you. It will anchor you. Instead of building towers, you will build tables. Instead of competing for rooms, you will open doors for others. Your success will come with chairs. Most surprising will be the lightness. Joy will no longer ask permission. Peace will not await perfect circumstances. It will make them. You will wake without the old weight on your chest, and the first breath of morning will taste like possibility instead of dread. Gratitude will draft your agenda. You will look at your life and whisper with tears you do not need to hide. This is what he meant. And when night falls, fulfillment will not quiet your hunger for God. It will deepen it. You will close your eyes, thinking not of outcomes, but of presence. Contentment will walk beside holy longing, hand in hand, neither canceling the other. You will be satisfied and still say, "More of you." That is the transformation, not a louder striving, but a louder yes. Not a frantic sprint, but a faithful stride. Not the end, but the beginning of moving well in the future you prayed for. Let this moment sit wholly on your chest like a warm hand steadying your breath. Nothing frantic, nothing forced. Only a quiet certainty that you are moving with the right wind. Speak these aloud slowly, like you're setting anchors. I am not late. I am aligned. I am not striving. I am sent. I am not exposed. I am enveloped. I do not fear the pace. I keep the presence. Let their syllables become the rails your day runs on. Let them return in the hallway, in the inbox, at the threshold. Words make rooms. Walk inside the ones you just built. Now, lift your face and receive. I bless your mind to keep the calm of clear water. May thoughts line up in order. May solutions arrive on time. May imagination stay baptized in peace. I bless your eyes to recognize your door. When it opens your ears to discern the voice within the noise, and your tongue to choose altars over arguments. May your sentences carry remedy, not residue. I bless your hands for clean work and finished work. May what you touch prosper without pretense, and may completion crown the labors you begin. I bless your feet with the courage of steady pace. No panicked sprinting, no timid shuffling. Only stride at the speed of grace. May every place the soul treads answer back. Welcome. I bless your house with laughter that refuses to leave, with rest that cannot be stolen, with conversations that heal what haste once harmed. May your thresholds filter what does not belong, and favor find you as if guided home by light. I bless your relationships with holy alignment, old knots loosened without bitterness, new cords braided without fear. May the right voices sound close, and the wrong ones fade without scorn. May honor go before you like fragrance and follow you like a song. I bless your provision to match vision in right ordered tools before tasks wisdom, before windows. Joy before justice. May generosity remain your first reflex, and scarcity lose all leverage. I bless your Thursday to keep its promise without strain. May the river find the banks prepared for it. May the hinge turn without squeal. May emails become answers, meetings become momentum, and quiet nudges become confident steps. Above all, I bless your nearness to the one who carried you through waiting and will carry you through winning. May your hunger outlive every harvest, your worship outshine. Every platform, your tenderness survive every success. May you become a living yes that keeps saying more of you even when rooms applaud. Go now under the bright canopy of the King's delight seen sealed and safely kept. Let angels attend your path. Let peace be the rhythm in your chest. Let favor do what force could never do. And let the name above every name be the banner above every hour. So be it over your mind, your steps, your Thursday, your story. Amen.